Yo, we back at it again. Another major episode of Even the Odds. We got a studded weekend, a star-studded weekend full of, jam-packed with all type of crazy games, good wagers, bad wagers, things you should definitely capitalize on and things you should stay away from. I'm here with, the entertainer, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dub. And then I also am here with the guru, Corey. What's up with y'all? How y'all feeling today?
Yo, what up? You know what I'm saying? Glad to be in the building. Hopefully, we can get you some winning information. You know what I'm saying? Where this is December 1, so we need the bets to hit now because it's getting close to Christmas time. And you know what I'm saying? I got a Christmas list from my daughter, and I thought it was in a different language. Like, I didn't even know what some of this stuff meant. You know what I mean? So that means these bets got to start hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that. I'm pretty good though, so I'm straight. But we need these bets hitting regardless, bro. And right now, there's a few upsets to get to sit here and talk about that's going to happen that a lot of people are not going to talk about. But I do want to address this unbelievable 5.5. What you said, 5.5 spread for the away team.
It's the road 5.5
spread, and it's undefeated, right?
So I think there has been one situation this season where the road 5.5 is not covered and lost outright, but it was like versus an elite team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, the road 5.5 covers and wins the game.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, Corey may just be chatting, right? I said, there's no way. So when we was talking about, this was 2 weeks ago, the last time we was on, we was watching the Texans game, and it was the Cardinals game, I believe. And you guys, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick the Cardinals, screw it, the Texans. I was like, no, I'm gonna pick the Texans. But I was paying attention to the spread. Now we know the Texans won, but the Cardinals hit the spread.
Yeah, they covered the spread. That was they covered the spread.
And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, ain't no freaking way. So how coincidental that the Cardinals again are facing the Steelers in a 5.5 spread?
Yeah.
And how you feel about that? You think that's going to happen again?
The Cardinals on the money line. Listen, I'm to the point now where I'm playing it blindly. The road 5.5. It's two situations. One of the teams is god awful, and I'm playing them. You know what I'm saying? I'm betting it blindly right now. The road 5.5 is being bet blindly in the NFL. I'm gonna do it in the postseason too, because hopefully we get one in the postseason and we get a nice little upset. But I hit it. Hit the spread. Put it like this: if you got $100, put 75 on the spread, 25 on the money line.
I'm scared for me, bro. I'm not betting on the Cardinals.
Who is it this week?
So this week is a couple of situations where you have road 5.5s in the NFL. We talk about the Cardinals already. So that number is sitting 6 right now, but I have an idea it's going to close at 5.5. The Cardinals going to Pittsburgh. The Cardinals 2-10 on the season, but it's not like the Pittsburgh is great. Well, right now, the Panthers are a road 5, not 5.5. Now, if the Panthers close at a road 5.5, the Panthers stink, bro. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Coach got fired. And normally, a lot of times when the coach get fired, you'll get that win one for the Gipper. You know what I'm saying? So 2 road 5.5s this week, or 2 road in that area right there. I may parlay.
Divisional game too.
Yeah, divisional game. How about nobody's going to have a Carolina, Arizona parlay this weekend. You know what I'm saying? But if you hit it, you clean up real nice for the holiday season.
Oh, that's scary, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that's scary. But that's like your little $10, $15 thing.
Yeah, dollar make you holler. You know what I'm saying?
Take a little risk here, and if you just play the spread, that'll be that's scary for me. But those are the 2 teams to keep in mind for this spread. I want to go back to the Cardinals game because I do think we need to hit. Is Kyler Murray able to play because he's not on the lines right now? Is he hurt?
No, I guess probably with the practice report and stuff like that. But sometimes they'll release these numbers a little bit earlier, a little bit later on in the week. But I don't see anything yet. I don't see anything for Kyler Murray yet as far as the passing props go. So, but listen, this is not really like when it comes to this game right here, I'm just going to rely on those same Pittsburgh Steelers props, which is the attempts and the yardage for Warren and Harris. I think that's the way that you play the Pittsburgh Steelers as far as their props go. Now, if you noticed last week with Matt Canada out as the OC, yeah, this is a fantastic week. Najee Harris over 13.5 attempts. And Jalen Warren doesn't really get the attempts, but he gets the yardage. But I would definitely play Najee over 13.5 attempts this week. Now, as far as we've seen Pat Freiermuth have a good game last week when they changed offensive coordinator, and they finally had their first game of 400 yards offense, probably since Ben Roethlisberger was there. And Freiermuth was big last week, so this could be something that we see good moving forward. So I keep an eye on Freiermuth, but really it's the Najee play, it's the Cardinals spread, and then I'm bound out of this one.
And then that's it for you, right?
Yeah, I can't.
I agree, especially with the Najee Harris. I would do a 50-yard because, especially like I told y'all before, it just seems as if a few weeks ago they're really finding their rhythm and their stride on how they're going to run this offense, right? And and they're going to feed off of these two as, like a Zeke and Pollard thing last season. So right now it's the same thing for me. I will be on the safe side. I would do 50 Najee, 40 for Jalen. And I don't have the reception props right now for the Steelers, so I got to wait for that to open up. But no, I'll probably put that on my YouTube page and let you guys know which reception props to have on that, because I think Deontay Johnson, he's been getting targeted a lot in the last few weeks. So if he's sitting at 3 receptions, I would hit that.
Yeah.
3 to 4, definitely.
Yeah, especially, and we've seen the offense open up a little bit more with the new OC last week. So listen, as bad as Kenny Pickett is playing, his teammates like him. You know what I'm saying? And that means a lot to to the teammates. So there you go.
Yeah, so most definitely that's there for the Steelers game. And anytime, TD, which one are you going for? Is it Najee or Jalen? I'm feeling more of Najee this week, but right now it's like, to me, it could be either or. I think one of those guys is definitely going to get a touchdown.
Yeah, I think you can go either or with those two. Maybe Jalen be a little bit juicier. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Then you got the fact that Jalen can hit the home run. Well, I'm saying the odds might be a little bit, enhanced. But the bottom line of the matter is, he's got more explosion to his running game. You know what I'm saying? So he's a dude that's more likely to hit the home run.
Got you. Let's get into the let's also get into the Titans game, because I was talking about upsets right in here now.
Yeah.
The Titans are sitting at plus 100 right now. I think the Titans actually have a very good chance of winning this game, especially with Jonathan Taylor not being there. Now, I understand that Zach Moss did have a great game the last time they played. I kind of don't see that happening again. And on top of that, I do think with the new quarterback in play, Will Levis, apart from Ryan Tannehill, I think you could expect a bigger game from what's his name, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
And I think him and the Titans money line is a good way to go.
Yeah, I like the Titans money line too. So it's good to see that we're on the same path with that one right there, because I do think that Tennessee in this division matchup, a home division dog, is thank you very much, ma'am. I was getting my my food. But a home division dog, yeah, I like it. You know what I'm saying? A home division dog this time of year. I think Tennessee one last stand. Now listen, Tennessee, I believe, may very well be 0-4 ATS at home this season. So that scares me a little bit of it. I'm about to check that number right now. But for the most part, I wouldn't feel comfortable going to the window with the Colts in this game right here. And even though the Colts have been playing good recently, the Colts 7-4 ATS against the spread this season, right? But it's just like they do it with smoke and mirrors. I think Tennessee could have a stand right here.
Got
I
you.
want to check this number though for Tennessee though, because I'm a type of cat, Dub, where I'm not going to experiment with somebody to be the first to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all right. So Tennessee is Tennessee is 1-5 ATS at home this season, right? So at least they do have one against the spread to win at home this year. Carolina is 0-5 ATS at home, so I'm never going to bet on them to win at home because I don't want to be the first one. You know what I'm saying? So
why not? But that's what you got to account for. That's exactly what you got to look for, and the moments when they're supposed to do it, right? And especially in a divisional game where they lost to the Colts the last time, and they just won a home game. The Titans just won a home game against the Panthers last week. Why not?
just because it's only been one home spread covering, and we've seen that Indianapolis can do it well on the. Indianapolis is 4-1 ATS on the road this year. They've been kind of road warriors in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So basically, something is taking place on the road that makes them more comfortable in the way they're playing the games. Listen, I maybe the slightest of edges to the Titans. No, as a matter of fact, I did this wrong. Excuse me. Tennessee is 4-1 ATS at home. Fire.
Okay.
Fire away.
Okay,
We're on
there we
Tennessee. There you go.
Because I started looking at it. I was like,
mortgage on
yeah,
it.
they're winning a lot. They're winning a lot at home.
Yeah, nah. So there you go. That's my bad right there. But no, Tennessee.
good.
Yeah, Tennessee at home. Take that number. I like the. I'll take that. And listen, if you can throw this in a 6.5 point teaser, I think hit both ways. Get that number up to 7.5, and you can cash on both sides. If you're looking for a teaser leg, you can lose the Colts or the Tennessee Titans in this one. But I think I'm on Tennessee. And if I'm on Tennessee, I'd be on my man Derrick Henry, the King. You know what I'm saying? I know the King has had a down year so far this year. He has not been looking like a king, but you know what I'm saying? He does generally and historically play well versus the Indianapolis Colts. So maybe this is a last stand for King Henry right here. So I probably would look at his yardage. Anytime touchdown is probably a little bit, probably don't got enough juice behind the anytime touchdown. But I would look at King Henry on some yardage.
I will also look in the player receptions for Michael Pitt and D-Hop. Like I said, D-Hop, I think, should be able to cover 4 receptions within this game. He's sitting at 4.5 right now, and that's at plus 102 odds. Yeah, I'm not taking that. I think that's a high risk. But 3 to 4 receptions he should be able to cover. And Michael Pittman, Gardner Minshew.
Excellent.
Yeah,
he's been excellent this year.
Oh, my God. The connection he has with Michael Pitt right now, he had 10 receptions last game, 8 receptions in the past 2 games. And if you want to be on the safe side, put that to 6. He should be able to get 6 or 7 receptions within this game, especially with Jonathan Taylor not being.
And definitely the yardage prop too. You know what I'm saying with Pittman, because Minshew just throws the ball to him, and you can get behind Tennessee's secondary. Listen, if you're in the DFS this week, I wouldn't even mind a Gardner Minshew, Michael Pittman stack. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that can work too, because they're going to get down the field against this team right here. It's be some good back and forth. But yeah, definitely Michael Pittman. I got a team underdog and underdog fantasy best ball resurrection, and that competing for the overall. And I'm looking at the roster, and I'm like looking at Michael Pittman every week goes crazy. So yeah, definitely you want to cash in on some Michael Pittman.
I got him and DJ Moore on my fantasy team.
Along with having a good year,
along with Tyreek Hill as well. So it's been an exceptional year.
Yes, better than a good year.
With TJ Hawkinson and Alvin Kamara on there too. So I've been doing pretty good on fantasy. What other games are you interested about for?
I think you got a good one. I think we got a goodie going to take place this week then down in Texas with the Houston Texans. This AFC wild card race is really starting to heat up right here, right? And I want to touch on this one for a couple of reasons. I think this one right here is going to be one of the premier games in the 1 p.m. Eastern time window. So when you like to place your wagers on these spots right here, let's start with the props. Let's go. We're going Nico Collins. We're going Tank Dell. We're going C.J. Stroud. We like those dudes a lot coming into this weekend. Denver Broncos side coming back. Positive Russ performance this week. And also I think Javonte Williams is a good way to go. But this line right here, everybody's been talking about the Denver Broncos and how much they love the Denver Broncos. Denver's getting it together. They're on this win streak right now. This line opened up at 3 on Sunday, and everybody is running to the window to bet the Denver Broncos. But the line is still sitting at 3. So that would alert me that the smart money, the sharp money, is coming in on the Houston Texans. So I would say it like this. On Sunday morning, if this line does not move to 2.5, unload on Houston. If this line comes down to 2.5, then the Denver Broncos is the play. Too much of a close call for me. I let the smart money dictate the game. So I'll go with the Houston Texans. And I think it's a big spot for Tank Dell, Nico, the whole crew.
Yeah, this game is very interesting. And it's really a tough one to call. And it's something that I would very much so want to stay away from. One of the most consistent guys throughout the whole entire year, though, has been Cortland Sutton. Yeah. And right now he's sitting at 57.5 right now yardage. I think he should be able to do that on this Texans crew. I would probably bring it down to 50 yards to be more on the safe side. And I think he does, because he's a red zone machine and TD machine, and he's always been able to find that connection with Cortland Sutton in the year out last season and this season. So he could be a sneaky anytime TD in this game as well. But again, this is such one of those games that I'm just not too sure about. I do want to stay away from because, MVP Stroud has just been on a tear this season. And the Broncos defense has been stepping up recently. So I don't know how this game is going to go. If it is a defensive game, I will look at Javonte Williams for his over in yards. He's at 56.5 right now. I'll bring it down to 50 as well. He's been able to cover that for the last 6 games now. Like 5 to 6 games now. He's been clearing 50 and above pretty well, besides 2 weeks ago. So that's something I would look at into this game. But again, I would try my best to stay away from this game because it is going to be a tight one.
Let me hop right. Samaje Perine, 16.5 receiving yards. That is something that he's been clearing recently. And also we've seen the the Houston Texans struggle against opposing teams' running backs in the passing game. So I would look at Sam Perine as he's the guy that kind of used in the passing game. I would look at him over 16.5 receiving yards.
Got you. And the way the Broncos also have been running ball needs to be addressed as well. What they've been doing with Russell Wilson and even Perine and Javonte, they have been doing a lot of good things. Go ahead.
Another interesting spot right here. This Chargers and Patriots, and I know this is a 4-17.
Yeah, we on the same page because what's so funny? I was just about to bring that game up too, bro.
So here's the deal. This is a spot where the Chargers, this is a good spot for the Chargers. Right now, the 5.5 is reversed. The 5.5 is at home, right? Mm-hmm. But what's interesting is, who was 5.5 point road dog this year? New England. When New England went to Dallas early in the season, New England was a 5.5 road dog. They're the team that got blown out. Now, with that being said, the Chargers, this is wild. Under Brandon Staley, when they play, the Chargers have only played in the last 3 years 11 times at 1 p.m. Eastern. They're 7-4 straight up in those games right there, and they're 7-4 against the spread. So they're not affected by the trip across country. They actually do well. Then the Chargers blow the Patriots out on Sunday.
So you hit them covering the 5.5 spread.
Yeah, they should blow them out. Like I would comfortably lay 5.5. Like I wouldn't money line that. I think the Chargers go in there and get a solid victory. This New England Patriot team, I hate to say it. I love Bill Belichick, but this team stinks. There's no talent on this team whatsoever. Mac Jones is a buster. The receiving core stinks. Ramondre Stevenson is halfway decent. They bad in the trenches. Matthew Judon is hurt, so the defense is bad. What a horrible, horrible job.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. The Chargers, especially with them losing 3 very tight games in a row, no, this is something that they just need. I think it's very hard for teams to lose 4 games in a row unless you're really, really trash like the Carolina Panthers. And I just don't think the Chargers are this caliber of team. So the Chargers right now, especially considering how we've seen how their defense was able to perform against the Ravens unit when they didn't have great pieces. This Patriots team does not have great pieces at all, and I don't trust them to be able to hold Justin Herbert. And
they lost to Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
What do you
hey, Tommy DeVito's that guy. Tommy DeVito's that guy, man.
Well, the players like him. You notice that they just like. So you got some bad quarterbacks that are hated, like what's your man in New England, Mac Jones. His teammates despise him. Now you look at a guy like Kenny Pickett. Yeah, he's a terrible quarterback, but guess what? The team rallies around him. Tommy DeVito the same way. The team, they love Tommy DeVito, so they play for him. But he's not an NFL quarterback.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I do think it's a nice little Cinderella story. But let's get into the Eagles versus the 49ers, man. The title of the video, the Battle of the NFC. Sadly, Justin isn't here to sit here and and I have some gloating because I told you guys that the Eagles are going to handle the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
which they did. And you feel me? That's what we do. And we're going to handle this team too. So I'm not going to tell y'all to bet on this because I think me personally, objectively, is a very too tight of a game for me to bet on. But I'm still rolling with my guys. And the fact that they're sitting as underdogs, just clear disrespect. Clear disrespect.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going the other side. That's why I'm going with San Francisco. I think this is a 49er spot right here. I hate to say it, but I think this is a 49er spot. I think the 49ers have a chip on their shoulder about this game. I think they've been the better team over the course of the last month. Listen, we know Philadelphia is great and what they've been doing to figure out ways to win every game. So handicapping it, I give the edge to the San Francisco 49ers in this game. That doesn't mean they're going to win in January, but in this game right here, I think San Francisco goes on the road and get a W. And it's the same thing. I would watch the point spread on this one right here. Everybody is on Philadelphia, and why wouldn't they be? But that number is still sitting 3. If that number does not come down to 2.5, I think San Francisco is a 27-20 winner.
You know what? I think the reverse.
There you go.
I absolutely think the reverse. You know what? I think the Eagles understand. This is the fandom talking. I think the Eagles understanding that they are being disrespected in this manner, them still being the underdogs, they're going to play a chip on their shoulder. The Eagles do this a lot. They play up to their competition, and they also play down to their competition. And this is a competition right here where they're going to definitely play up to. Expect a big game from Jalen Hurts. Man, put an anytime TD score for Jalen Hurts. You can sit here and put, you know what? Let's put an anytime TD score for A.J. Brown too. He's going to pass for 200 yards, and he's probably going to rush for, he's going to pass for 200 yards, and he's probably going to rush for 40 yards right there. That should be a good parlay for you guys to have. And you know what? You could put the Eagles money line on that too. So those odds right there, you can't go wrong with those odds right there, bro. We're gonna stop and contain Brock Purdy. Once you take away the running game from him, he's not gonna know what to do, and he's gonna be a duck out there. Simple. And once we get that, it's over.
Listen, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? And if it happens, like I said, it very well could be the case. This is the Philadelphia Eagles we're talking about. To me, they're the class of the NFL right now. But I think in this moment right here, San Francisco is going to be the team because San Francisco wants to avenge that loss. They've been chirping all week. You know what I'm saying? I think you get the best of San Francisco this week. If they run it back in January, I probably would go the other way.
I guess we'll see, man.
One more NFL spot this week is the Lions and the Saints. This is an interesting one right here. A piece of me wants to take the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Because Detroit has not been as good these past couple of weeks. Detroit is not playing good defense anymore. They started off the season with their defense playing very well. The Lions' defense has regressed. The Lions, I'm telling you, the Lions are going to get picked off early in the playoffs. They really are. Mm-hmm. Now, the Saints may not have enough juice to pull it off this week, and I think Olave is hurt too, making their offense even whacker. But the truth of the matter is, this Lions team, the way they're playing right now, they can be had. I just don't think the Saints are the team that can get it done.
I do think so, and I'm not well, I agree with you wholeheartedly, right? Especially considering the fact the reason why the Lions defense looks so good, they really wasn't playing that great of teams offensively. So the defense did look a bit better than what it was. Olave should play. It's still questionable, though.
Well, they played the Chiefs. That's not fair.
Without Kelsey?
Who else did they beat? I mean, the
Seahawks torched that defense. They faced the Panthers.
Panthers don't really have nothing that they
Falcons?
can do.
Arthur Smith? Come on.
I don't want to say that. Well, the Packers are a playoff team. At least they look like right now. But obviously, at that point in the year, I think if you look back to where they had they really didn't play nobody that great. They lost to the Ravens. They got smacked. And then you see the Chargers, the Bears, the Packers all had an easy time with them. So yeah, earlier in the year, their best opponent was the Chiefs. Yeah, you're right. All right,
I
yeah,
know I'm
cool.
right. Yeah, I
I
got you,
relax.
bro. This is what we're here for. You know? Yo, bro, you and Justin. Justin does the same thing. He was like, "Oh yeah, you are right about that." I tell him, "You say you're right a lot, bro. You know, you say
No
you're right a
doubt.
lot. I appreciate it." So yeah, but I do agree with you because the Saints and their offense is not something to believe in.
Yeah.
So it's not really something that, and for some reason, I do like the Saints as well, but nothing to take it a whole. I love the Bears though, and I'm so upset that the Bears and we sit here and didn't be able to talk about it last week. But the Bears and Justin Fields and the DJ Moore connection is something that you just need to buy into. They're phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, no, they definitely have a good way of getting it done. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I'm not a big Justin Fields guy, but they do a good job, the two of them, in connecting and hooking up. And listen, I don't like trashing Justin Fields, but if I see it, I got to say it. I mean, the guy is like 7-27 as a starter. Like, it's what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at some point, let's just tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? You got to win football games, and he's a good. If he's QB1 on your fantasy team and you like him, then sure, I see why. But if he is somebody that you need, if you're a Chicago Bear fan, you got to be realistic.
Yeah, we do got to be realistic about him, bro. Let's see what else we got. All right, what do you want to get into? The Jets and the Falcons game looks like a very ugly game for me. They're over. Yeah, they're over right now. Is at 32.5. And I expect so because it's just a disgusting game. But how you feel about the Miami Dolphins versus the Commanders?
Oh, they lay the Dolphins. The Commanders are done. You know what I'm saying? And then where's this game's in Washington?
Mm-hmm.
Now let me tell you something about the Washington Commanders, right? And when they have played in FedEx Field this season. FedEx Field has been a house of horrors. They opened up in FedEx Field with a win over the Cardinals in 20-16. Mm-hmm. Their next game in FedEx Field was a 37-3 loss to the Buffalo Bills. Then it was a 40-20 loss to the Bears. Then it was a 38-31 loss to the Eagles. Then it was a 31-19 loss to the Giants. This team has been horrible on their home field this season, and they get booed off the field every time they play at home. The Dolphins are going to go crazy on them this week.
Well, and that's fine. I think this game we're all going to expect the Dolphins to win. But I think a lot of the player props in the overs can be hitting for both teams because despite them, we talk about them on FedEx Field, even against the Bears, they're getting a lot of gorgeous plays.
Yep.
On the Eagles, tons of them was getting hit in their player props because it was just a shootout. And even against the Giants, Sam Howell threw the ball for over 45 times. Brian Robinson hit 73 yards, So I think this is a good player prop game.
No doubt.
For both
especially on Sam Howell, because you'll probably hit Sam Howell over on the. I don't know. See, I wouldn't feel comfortable playing the overs on the yardage. Excuse me, but I definitely would play over on the passing attempts. Sam Howell passing attempts over 38.5. Take that to the bank. He's going to throw the football 40 times.
And I agree. Brian Robinson,
like he's Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Eric Bieniemy coached Sam Howell like he Patrick Mahomes and got the worst offensive line in the NFL. A joke.
There's no other reason for him to do. There's nothing else that he can do. Right now they don't have Raheem Mostert or see if he's available for the player prop. But you have Brian Robinson sitting at 41.5 rushing yards. How you feel about that?
The Dolphins defense has been playing better over the course of the last month. So that kind of scares me a little bit, right? But it's like they need to establish a run, but they don't establish the run. Now, you would think that they would be smart and say, okay, let's go in here, right? And let's try to keep the high-powered offense of the Dolphins off the field. Let's control the clock. Let's run the football. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not what they're going to do. What they're going to do is sit back and throw the ball with Sam Howell. Now, you may get lucky and get a long touchdown run or something like that because he has that home run game-changing ability. But no, I'm on the Commanders passing. I'm not on their rushing.
How about combined yards? I don't know what his combined yardage is sitting at right now for the app that I'm using. What's his combined yards right now?
Combined yards, I don't have combined NFL props on my cheat sheet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I think, here we go. Rushing and receiving. My bad. Rushing and receiving for Brian Robinson. I only have Antonio Gibson.
No Brian Robinson?
I got Antonio Gibson sitting at 35.5. And I probably would not touch that.
No. Antonio Gibson is trash. Depending on what line, depending on when they give it up, if they are going to give it up for Brian Robinson, pause. Definitely for the combined rushing and receiving, if he's sitting at like 60 yards, I'm definitely hitting that, especially in a game like this when you combine the rushing, because I think he's a guy that's always going to give you a good 30 to 40 yards a game rushing the ball, despite him only getting 8 touches. And I think the passing game, they do utilize him pretty well in that. So at times, so he's a guy that should be able to get 60 yards combined in this game. So keep that in mind. Tyreek Hill's sitting at 104 yards right now.
He's going to go
which
off
is
this
insane.
week. Yeah,
you think
it's crazy that the prop? Listen, it's wild. The prop is 100, and I'm like, bet the over. You know what I'm saying? Like without even hesitation, because Washington can't handle him. Waddle and Hill should go off this week.
Waddle and Hill should go off this week, and for the player receptions and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, Waddle and Hill should. I mean, they can't contain them.
Got you. All right, then. So we got some football down. Let's see if we can touch on one. How you feel about the Packers versus the Chiefs?
Interesting game. I think the Packers are in a good spot. I don't think that they can pull us in or get this done. But if I'm a Packer fan, I would feel optimistic about how the team has played the past couple of weeks, and I would want to see how they would look. You know, I think the Packers can make the playoffs. Can they cover the 6 right here? The problem is the Packers. The Chiefs' offense is not as strong as it's been, but the Packers' defense can't take advantage of that. Now, the Chiefs' defense can suffocate the Packers' offense. I think a 6. I think a 6 is a good number because of the style of play of Kansas City this season. But it's really Put it like this: I don't bet primetime favorites. I probably would do under 42.5.
Under 42.5. Yeah, and you did say that one time when we talked about the Eagles and Chiefs, you did say always get the under for the prime time.
Yeah,
and that's something, especially in that game, I thought it was going to hit over, but I guess this prime
they're hitting at 70% this year. Games that start 7 p.m. or later this year, the under is cashing 71% of those games. That really numbers you can't ignore.
Yeah, so I definitely keep that in mind. Apart from the player props, I'm not really sure who to go on for this one. You know what? I'll give it to Christian Watson.
Love? Yeah, well, yeah, Jalen Reed has been playing very good. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Reed is somebody that I would keep my eye on because I believe I'm about to pull up some of his numbers in the past couple games and kind of look at some of his props now. Like I said, like still that you're going up against that Kansas City defense that's been a wagon this year. But Jalen Reed has really come on strong down the stretch the past couple of weeks. He's kind of almost becoming like a go-to guy for the Green Bay Packers. Let's just look at the last month. You know what I'm saying? In the last month, Jalen Reed is his prop has gone up to 44.5. He's hit over that twice. Now he's not in a good spot to hit it this week. You know what I mean? But depending on where you do your wagering at, sometimes you'll have the longest reception, right? Jaden Reed longest reception prop is sit at 19.5 this week. I would go over that.
Rushing reception for Jalen Reed?
Longest reception.
Longest reception?
Over 19.5.
That's interesting. I never thought about that. In terms of Jordan Love that you talked about before, he's sitting at 227.5 yards right now. This is something that he's been able to hit for a good portion now. Besides, for the last 6 or 7 games, he's been able to hit that. And against the Steelers, an elite defense, he had a pretty bad game against them. He's still able to give you 289 yards.
Well, he kind of plays a little bit of a helter-skelter style of hero ball. And it's not as clean as the rest of the quarterbacks that play hero ball because he's still a young player and he doesn't have that rushing or throwing ability. But what he does do is he kind of does take the game over. He knows he's kind of their guy. So he's going over that number in 72% of the games this year. And when you break that down to the last month in his last 4 games, he's actually going over that number in each of the last 4 games. So he's on a hot streak going over that number right now.
Mm-hmm. So definitely with him, I think with him, he should be able to go over that number as well for this season. And you know what? They don't got his player receptions on my thing for Christian Watson. But you know what? I can expect a 30 to 40-yard game from Christian Watson as well. Depending on how I feel and how the odds are, I will look for that as well for Christian Watson.
No problem with Christian Watson. He gets it done. He's the guy that they look to a lot, and he's probably the most experienced wide receiver out of that bunch.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
41.5 is the reception prop. It's the yardage prop for Christian Watson. The reception prop for Watson is, that's the longest reception. The player reception prop for Watson is sitting at 3.5.
I wouldn't bet the 4. I'll put him at 3 though, not 3.5.
Yeah, I'm about to say the 3.5 is a little bit too much for me. I like it better at 2.5. At 3.5, I actually would take the under.
Yeah, the under. He hasn't been hitting that all year besides last game. But let's get into some basketball games. You ready for some basketball games, man?
Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
You hit the Pacers winning the group.
Yeah, hit the Pacers at plus 550 to win Group A. So thank God was able to get that in, you know what I'm saying, to help clean up a little bit for the holiday weekend, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
felt good about that. Was able to buy the co-ed some drinks, you know what I'm saying? Compliments of Tyrese Halliburton.
Yep.
But listen, I think we got a pretty solid Friday night slate tonight. Right quick though, on the actual in-season tournament, now that we're to it, listen, in a 1-game single elimination, give me the team with the long odds. So I like New Orleans. Give me New Orleans. What's New Orleans? Was about 10 or 15 to 1 or something like that. Let me pull it up right now.
They're at minus 13 right now.
I'm talking about to win the in-season tournament.
Win the in-season tournament?
The Pelicans are 12 to 1 to win the in-season tournament. Yeah, I'll take a shot on the Pelicans at 12 to 1 to win the in-season tournament. They open up versus the Kings. I think they'll get that done, and then I think they'll beat the winner of Lakers and Suns. So I like the Pelicans against the Eastern champion, which will unfortunately probably be the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I don't know. These in-season tournaments are a little bit tough. I don't know. I'm not going to bet on any of that because I'm just not sure. If I'm going to do a real long shot, I'm going to go with one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, and that's the Pacers. Their offense is crazy. They cannot be stopped. They're hitting threes at a crazy rate. Tyrese is looking phenomenal. If I'm going to ride with anyone, I'm going to ride with the best offense in the league right now, and that's the Pacers.
Don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What's their odds sitting at?
They have longer odds. They're at 14 to 1 to win the in-season tournament.
Why not? Why not? Screw it. Why not?
Sean Payton comment might be in the coach of the year running. You see, I think there is some validity to that, but I think the year started too bad. You know what I'm saying? Couple that with
70 doesn't help.
Couple that with the fact that what D'Amico Ryans is doing right now. I think, you know what I'm saying, it would be tough. But Sean Payton definitely did turn it around. But but as far as tonight, we start Wizards and Magic. Orlando Lane 11.5 in this one right here. Bro, you can't put your money on Washington. So if you're going to bet the game, you can only go Orlando. Now the props, we got things that we can do. But I tell you what prop I would start off with. Kyle Kuzma over 22.5. That's just how you start every Wizard game.
Yeah, he's a scoring machine for those guys, right? And he's really their main reliable scorer for that crew. So I'm not mad at Kyle Kuzma. The issue is with the defense that the Magic's been able to play, it's going to be tough for him to be able to get off, I would pick Paolo, though, for he's at 21.5 right now. I'll just put him for 20. I'll even put Franz for 20. This is a Wizards defense that they suck.
Yes.
They can't stop anyone. And that's just a story of their whole entire season. I will also, even though that they have I can never say their center's name, Goga Bizdazzi. I
know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. I know he's sitting at 7.5 rebounds, but I'm more favoring Paolo for rebounds in this game. I don't think the Wizards really have a great big. besides what Daniel Gafford, but he's not that great. I think Palace should be able to be good on the boards in this game. 7.5 boards, maybe 7. You could bring that down a little bit more. Franz Wagner and his threes. I think he's sitting at 1.5 threes right now. He should be able to hit 2 threes in this game, especially considering the fact that he should be able to score 20 points.
You know what, a 3-point prop I would take? I would take Jalen Suggs over 1.5.
Jalen Suggs over 1.5. That's not bad either. I'm not gonna lie. Jalen Suggs too. And even though people don't like him, I think his over is just sitting way too low. He's a shot chucker. We know he's a shot chucker. He's gonna put his shots up. Jordan Poole's sitting at 17.5. I'll put him for 15, but it's too low for me not to sit here and get into
that.
The
problem is, with me at least, if I lose a wager because of Jordan Poole, I might break my TV. You know what I'm saying? Because I know better. You know what I mean? Because you never know what that kid is going to do.
Mm-hmm. Damn. I forgot. This is actually a back-to-back.
Yeah, I don't like these spots, but I would lean into how terrible Washington is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I don't like betting. I'm not going to bet it because I don't like betting back-to-back. Like, I don't like betting teams getting blown out 2 nights in a row. But but let me tell you something. You can't bet them not to get blown out 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, that's a fact. And like I said,
they are doing an incredibly good job at tanking. If tanking is their goal, they are knocking it out the park.
Nah, Jordan Poole. Yeah, that's Jordan Poole, bro. That's what he really wanted to be over there for. But yeah, I'm still picking Jordan Poole for 15 points, and I'm still thinking, yeah, Palace should be able to get 20 points in this game, bro. This should be a correction after this game. I don't give a damn. What about, we got a big game in the Sixers and the Celtics?
Yeah. These are always tough matchups right here. You know what I'm saying? Because how can you fade the Boston Celtics? You know what I mean? And that basically what it boils down to. Now, looking at the latest injury report, it does look like Joel Embiid's going to be a game time decision. Kristaps Porzingis has already been ruled out. And then really everybody else is, most importantly is Joel Embiid. Here's the thing. The number's sitting 6.5 right now. If you think Embiid's playing, gobble up to 6.5. If you think Embiid's out, take the 6.5 the other way. If Embiid plays this, Embiid, my man Brandon Katz is saying Embiid is playing. If Embiid plays, I'd take the 6.5 with Philadelphia.
Got you. In a game like this, especially against good defense, one of the few things I look at is 3-point shooting for some guys, right? Tobias Harris, right? He's sitting at plus 114 for 2 threes within this game. I think a game where they're definitely going to try to key in on Joel Embiid like it was similar to the last game they played. You're going to look for a guy where they're going to feed through other guys like a Tobias Harris to get some better shots up. I'll put him for 15 points, 2 threes within this game. And also Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey's been a guy who's been shooting great this year. Let's see what he's been doing in the last recent games.
I made threes in this game right here. I would go DeAnthony Melton over 2.5 made threes, kind of a guy that sits in the corner and knocks those down. So I would get on that. Also, in a game like today, Joel Embiid, 1.5 3-pointers made. I would take the under. I think Embiid lives on the inside tonight.
I think Embiid lives on the inside. And DeAnthony Melton is a good one. Tyrese Maxey, he's sitting at 3.5 threes right now for plus 100 as well. I will move him down to 3. I think he's definitely going to key in on three threes within this game, especially considering the matchup that they're going up against. Now, in terms of the Celtics and who's going to go over for them, I never know with this crew, and I'd rather not. Jason Tatum is a baller. We know who he is. He's going to give you a good 25 tonight. He always does, especially a game like this. And he's probably going to be good on the glass too. So I'll probably put him for 7 to 8 rebounds for this crew as well. But again, like this Celtics crew, you never know. But they don't have Kristaps Porzingis tonight. So that could help with the boards for Jason Tatum and his game.
Yep. RPAs in this one right here. I think it's a couple interesting spots where you can get some RPAs, points, rebounds, and assists. Al Horford over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Maybe if I'm really looking for a wager, but nothing I have to take to the window. You feel what I mean? Philadelphia, as far as points, rebounds, and assists, Joel Embiid is always solid in that market right there. It gets up pretty high, like 49.5. But arrested Embiid, I just don't like going up against Boston's defense with player props, to be honest with you. So,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a big game, though. And Brandon Katz said it right now, and I did forget to mention this. Man, Joel Embiid sitting at 5.5 assists right now. And this is something that he's been cashing in on all season long. He had a triple-double last game against the Lakers. He had almost a triple-double against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Also a good defense. He was able to have 5 assists versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. So me personally, in a game like this where he is going to have to play a bit more through his teammates, I'll definitely look at that 5.5. But to be on the safe side, just put it down to 5 assists. That's something he's been cashing in for damn near 7-8 straight games now. So
and then let me listen. We're taking a shot right here, and if you talk about those assists, then that leads into that points, rebounds, and assists for Embiid sitting at 47.5. I've seen it get as high as 49.5 some nights. So I think you're getting a little bit of a discount at 47.5. I think I would go in on that. I don't mind that.
How many blocks? You think he'll be able to get this game?
Maybe 2. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see.
I don't really do defensive props.
You don't?
Nah.
I do it at times.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. His blocks are at 1.5 plus 114. One block is minus 307. I'll let it rock. Let it rock. Especially against a 3-point shooting team in the Celtics. But if Al Horford is breaking it, best believe Embiid is going to start roaming a lot more. Here we go. We got the Nuggets versus the Suns. That's going to be a great matchup too.
Yeah, interesting matchup to close the night. You know what I'm saying? With Denver and Phoenix. And looking at, then take a quick look at the injury report right here. Instead, I put up the damn tickets. Like I'm gonna go tonight. I wish I could. I wish I was in Phoenix. I know. Oh, let me tell you something. Oh, that's neither here nor there. Jamal Murray.
You got to tell me that.
No Devin Booker tonight. You know what I'm saying? Suns back at home after a 3-game road trip. Nuggets coming into tonight. 3 straight wins. Nuggets 4-6 on the road. I don't like if Book was playing, this is a Phoenix spot for me. But I'd be honest with you. I tell you what, even without Book playing, I think I'm going to take the points with the Phoenix Suns. I think Phoenix is starting to round into its own. I think that was a nasty loss the other night to Toronto, but that was closing up the road trip. So really, they're winners of 7. What, that 6, 7?
They've been on a 7-game winning streak.
7-game winning streak. Winners of 7 of their last 8. Home spot tonight versus Denver. I don't like the Nuggets on the road, even without Book playing. I think this is a spot right here where I'm gonna get behind the Phoenix Suns. So I'm gonna go Phoenix. I think Phoenix can win the game outright, even without Book. Obviously, I would feel a lot better about it if Devin Booker was playing. But I will go ahead and take the points and take the money line with the Phoenix Suns. And it's really because of how Denver has played on the road this season. Denver's not been great on the road, So when you look at Denver against the spread on the road this year, Denver is towards the bottom. Where they at? They moved up a little bit. They're towards the bottom. 2-8 ATS. So why would I put my money behind that?
You said 2-8. What?
2-8 against the spread on the road this year.
Against the spread on the road.
So in 10 road games, they've covered the number twice. I'm not getting behind that. That's 20%. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing at 20%. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
That's a flaccid road ATS record.
Right now for some props for Kevin Durant, they got him at 2.5 threes right now. Again, especially without Devin Booker being there, so he could be more off ball and taking some threes. KD's just not going to be able to do that. Maybe he definitely does have a chance to hit 2 threes in this game for sure. But in terms of trying to hit 3 threes, that's not really something I'm keying in on, especially playing without a playmaker next to him. But I'm definitely going to talk about him. They just moved him up to 31.5, so they really feel as if he's going to have a good game. And I think he will have a good game too. I would put him at 30 points, 2 threes. I think some of the rebounding prop as well. He should be able to get. He's at 6.5 right now. He should be able to get 6 boards tonight, and also he's at 5.5 assists. I'm not too sure about the assist, but with him being able to handle the ball a lot, I would definitely put him at 5 assists as well.
All right. The made threes at 2.5, I wouldn't bet. I would probably target the under, but so I agree with you on that. Eric Gordon, nobody defends the 3-point line better than Denver. So that's not where I would go. Nobody defends the 3-point line. Yeah, better than Denver. Denver has the best 3-point defense in the NBA. So I'm not going to take any of those props. Now, Jokic line is always set at 2.5. Tonight is the type of night is 1.5. He rarely goes over. He doesn't really like this. He runs the game by passing.
Mm-hmm.
A game like tonight's game, I can see Jokic hitting a couple of threes, and you probably get that at plus money.
Let me see where he's sitting at, because he don't really.
Jokic over 1.5 threes.
Plus 164.
Plus 164. I would take a crack at that tonight. And he's not a big 3-point shooter, but at those odds in a game that could go to overtime because of the level of competition, I would take a shot on that.
Let me see what he's been doing in the last recent games, because I know he's been pretty good offensively. This man Jokic is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's insane. Yeah, he's insane. Yeah, he hasn't been hitting that a lot. He hit that against Houston, not the last game, but 2 games before. I'm not sure about the 2 threes, but I'm definitely putting him on the over in points. I mean, he's been having 38, 39, 32, 30 against the Suns crew. Well, we all know they don't have the pieces to contain him. I mean, Jokic was bodying Nurkic back when Nurkic was on Portland, bro.
Yeah, so exactly. I remember those years.
Yeah, we know what Nurkic is gonna do. So he's definitely gonna crack on that 30. Man, he may even get a triple-double tonight. Honestly, you know what? That's what we'll do. Where's his triple-double?
His triple-double might be minus 200 though. You know what I'm saying?
If it's minus 200, I'm not taking.
He I mean, that's the type of player he is. You know what I'm saying? When he gets really rolling. Let me pull up some points, rebounds, and assists for you right quick, because I do want to hit on the college football slate this weekend before we get up out of here. Jokic 53.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I would go over that tonight. I like Jokic over that number. Grayson no, leave that alone. No. Don't do that. So Jokic 53.5, over 53.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Jokic, and the Suns on the money line. That is your single game parlay for that contest right there. If you want a little late night ESPN enjoyment.
Got you. Get us to some college games before we head out.
One last NBA thing. Don't trust the Knicks tonight. Knicks getting 2.5 on the road versus Toronto. These 2 teams got some kind of legal thing going on right now. Don't be surprised if Toronto, and the Knicks did not look good versus Detroit the other night. Don't be surprised if Toronto handles the Knicks tonight. Toronto been playing better recently, so I would lay off the Knicks tonight. And trust me, I'm a guy that likes to sit in here and watch the Knicks and smoke marijuana. But tonight, I'll be doing that, but I won't have any money on the Knicks while I'm doing that tonight. You know what I'm saying?
It's so much better to watch games when you haven't bet on anything.
It makes it much easier. Now, tonight I will be watching the Pac-12 championship game between the Washington Cougars and Oregon Huskies. Everybody's on Oregon in this one, and I get it. Bo Nix, Dan Lanning. My thing is this, though. Washington has played too good all season to come out here and get stomped tonight. They're getting 10 points. I think that's too much. I'll take the 10 with Washington. And I actually would sprinkle the money line as well. So that's my start. Now, as far as tomorrow, not really interested in the late game. It looks like some sharp money is coming in on Louisville to upset Florida State. I think that can hold true with this backup quarterback Florida State is playing. Now, the big one tomorrow, Georgia and Alabama. I'm taking Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking Alabama. Now, they're getting 5.5, but they are technically a home 5.5. So they're not the road 5.5, but I'll take Alabama getting the 5.5, and I'll take Alabama to win the game outright. And then, Dub, I'll go even one further. I just put it in earlier this week. You know what I'm saying? I put Alabama at plus 800 to win the college football championship this year. I think this is Nick Saban's best coaching job. I think Jalen Milroe is starting to play some amazing football. So, listen, Jalen Milroe is a Heisman Trophy candidate. You saw the play at the end of the game. Saban came into the year saying he's going to get better as the season progresses, and he has. He's faced every challenge. So I like Jalen Milroe tonight. I like Georgia tomorrow to win the game, make the college football playoff, and exactly do what everybody said that Nick Saban would not do this year, and that's win a national championship. They said he was washed up. Brandon Katz is in the comment section right now saying Saban isn't the same coach anymore. Next weekend, we'll be talking about Nick Saban in the college football playoff.
All right, man. All right, fellas. So hopefully we can get some things to pay some Christmas presents for this year and pay for some food for the upcoming dinners that's going to be happening for everyone. Other than that, bro, like the video, subscribe, bro, and we'll see y'all next week, bro. You got anything to say before we go, Corey?
Yo, everybody. Good luck this weekend. We out.
We out. Peace.